talk about leave the bastards alone, and I want you to understand what the word bastard means.
Yes.
Go ahead.
In order to understand the message that God is trying to get across to the body of believers.
Yes.
But the word means person, of course, born of unmarried parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
An illegitimate child.
Yeah.
It also means a vicious, despicable, or thoroughly disliked person.
Yeah.
Spurious.
Yes.
Not genuine. False.
Yes.
Fake.
Yeah.
Imitation. Imperfect.
Yeah.
Sham.
Yeah.
Irregular. Phony.
Yeah.
But most of y'all didn't even pay attention when you use the word.
All
Don't try.
right. Help us, Lord. Take him through.
This word here has more than just one meaning.
Yes, it does.
So you have to take inventory and make sure that before the message is over, you know where you stand with God.
Amen.
Make sure that you're not fake,
Amen.
that you're not phony. And this is not all of it. It does go into having a similar look.
Amen.
I'm going to find somebody that can walk all the way with me. Which simply means you look like you belong to something, but not exactly.
Yes.
Right.
You look like you could be a part of something, but not all of it.
Yes.
In the book of Hebrews chapter 11, most of you who read your Bible and you don't just have it as a cup holder can recognize that it is in chapter 11 that he talks about the hall of the heroes of faith.
Amen.
Come on, push me, preachers, and let me push me over the edge. I feel God going to do something today, and I don't want to take all day because your dinner might burn. It's in chapter 11 that he speaks about the halls which hold the heroes of faith. Most of them we've heard and read about.
Yes.
You heard about Noah. You heard about Abraham. You heard about the elders who had a good report. You heard about how by faith 2 spies brought back good reports. 12 went.
My God.
Only 2 came back with a good report. Y'all don't want me because you didn't read it.
All right.
It goes on and on, but as you draw to the closing now of chapter 11, there are some names that are not mentioned. It's just held in high regard that people were willing to die by faith, through faith, and for what they believe. To help you better understand this now, you know about the Revolutionary War, and you heard about the Civil Wars, different wars that took place.
Yes, sir.
War between the Union of States because of slavery, World War I, so forth and so on. A few of those wars had to deal with us, who were not here yet. There was a war between colors. Martin Luther King spearheaded this movement and calls for people to recognize the worth of the black man, as just as Abraham Lincoln said, we hold these truths to be
Self-righteous.
that all men are. I got to find somebody that don't forget all the school even though you graduated. All men are created equal, and they went to war, and so there came about the Black Panthers, and there came about a civil rights movement for the blacks, or as they are still classified, the minority, simply because somebody thought it necessary to fight for people who weren't here yet, the little kids, the grandchildren that they had. They wanted them to have a better life. Some things they didn't want their children and their children's children to have to experience. And most of you in here are just about parents, or you help raise some children like they they're yours anyway. You know how it is. You're trying to show a child that you understand what's going to happen if they don't listen. That's all. Simply put, I want you to do what I'm saying, because if you do what I'm saying, it will help you to avoid some calamities that might cause you some harm later on down the line. It might cause you some pain from now until you die. You know, don't put your hand in the socket or your hair is going to grow straight for the rest of your life. Can't find nobody I can talk to. Don't climb on the oven door because the oven is hot and you ain't gonna ever, and I know it's in proper English, but I want to use the word ain't. You ain't ever. Some of y'all done did it. That's why your knees look funny. Don't ever get on the stove, on the door. It's hot. You know how you raise the children. Hot. Don't touch. Hot. Nah. Hot. Don't touch. And the child still finds it curious that something that they haven't touched is radiating towards them. So they just feel the need to know what it is. In spite of you saying don't touch, in spite of you saying hurt, in spite of you saying leave it alone, burn, burn, burn. See? Hot, hot, hot. The child still wants to know for themselves. Y'all ain't gonna help me in here. When you look now at Hebrews chapter 12, it talks about seeing that we are compassed about so great a cloud of witnesses. Says you got to lay aside every weight. It is astounding to me that the same thing that applied, and if you can just bear for a couple of seconds, I want to drive some points. Astounding to me that some of the same things Mama grew up on is still necessary for her son today. Her mama is in her late 60s, pushing 70s, somewhere in there. And she still says holiness is right. When I was out clubbing in the reggae house parties, so forth and so on, she was still saying, I'll find somebody that ain't scared of that word. Amen. Simply because she had witnesses come before her, and she was going to be a witness to me that the way I'm living, even though it may look like it don't pay off, it's going to be in the end when you come to realization that my way is right and yours was wrong. Amen. I wish I could have turned back the hands of time and listened to my parents when they were saying pay closer attention in school. I don't know. I might have taken a different path and still wound up being a preacher, but I might have been just 10% more smarter. In certain avenues, in certain areas of my life. But because I didn't, school was aggravating to me. Can't find nobody I can talk to. Y'all quiet now. You must have been there. But I came to understand that when you listen to the witnesses before you, you're more apt not to make mistakes. If you can listen to somebody who seems as if they are overbearing and you feel like I'm grown, I can do what I want to do, but somebody has walked the path before you, you may avoid some pitfalls. God, I feel you. You may avoid some headaches. I don't care how much your flesh crave it. I don't care how bad everybody is making you feel because you ain't a part of what they're doing. Somebody walked the path before you and they're warning you that it ain't gonna come to nothing. If I can use my ears for more than the music that makes me bump, then I might avoid some pitfalls in my life. I might avoid having some scars on me for life. Might avoid being raped. I got to find somebody I can preach to. Because some of you in here, you've been raped and you're staying quiet, but you got to learn how to cry loud. I don't care if folk don't like it. Somebody gonna hear you. If you don't